Hey everyone, thanks very much for stopping by. This is your Saskatoon real estate market update for September of 2024. All right, let's get right into it. So there was 432 sales last month in September of 2024, which is an increase of 16% year over year and 24% above that 10-year average. So September was a big month, bigger than last year, and it's continuing to see more activity, more than average sales activity here. Inventory is still the big challenge. I mentioned this last month and months before that as well. The biggest challenge is the inventory. We are almost 50% below what the average inventory levels are. So lots of buyers, things are still moving, but not a lot of inventory to backfill those houses that are getting sold. Something else that is going to be playing a part in what's affecting the real estate market here in Saskatoon is that the Bank of Canada is making another interest rate announcement, or expected to make another interest rate announcement next week. And the consensus is that they're going to lower rates again, which should mean, well, it's good for buyers because they can access more funds, but it's going to, here in Saskatoon, it's going to put more pressure, even more pressure on where the market is and the availability of good quality homes to purchase. So an interesting point that came up from the Saskatoon Realtors Association was that the housing inventory has now reached levels not seen since 2007. Why is that important? Why is that relevant? In 2006, 2007, we saw some significant increases in housing prices. 2006, we saw year over year housing prices increase 43%. 2007 increased year over year another 20% on top of the 43% from the year previously. Some significant increases. There was a huge jump in housing prices here in Saskatoon, which was good because Saskatoon at the time, Saskatoon was well behind averages across the country. And a lot of people just sort of recognized that Saskatoon was a great place to be. Lots of change since then, but usually when you see the challenges that we're having with inventory, it's going to mean some significant price increases. And we've already seen that in previous months, and I think we're going to continue to see that moving forward. How big those increases are going to be and what else is going to happen behind the scenes remains to be seen, but all indicators are pointing in that direction that prices are going to continue to increase here in Saskatoon. There's a couple of neighborhoods or a handful of neighborhoods that I want to draw your attention to. These are neighborhoods that are below the average house prices here in Saskatoon and are older neighborhoods. They are really well-established neighborhoods, but typically smaller lots and smaller houses, which of course mean that they're going to be priced lower than average here in Saskatoon. The three neighborhoods that I want to mention are Westview Heights, Mount Royal, and Massey Place. All three of these neighborhoods, and there's a few others as well in that same area around those neighborhoods, kind of in the west side of the city. These three neighborhoods, as well as some of the areas around them, the neighborhoods around them, are seeing some significant increases. The biggest reason that we're seeing these neighborhoods increases, as I mentioned, entry-level houses, below average prices, and that makes it a lot easier for first-time home buyers or people that want to move out of townhouses or condos to have their own space. These are the best neighborhoods, but because we're seeing such a big increase in the prices of those properties, because there are a lot more buyers that want to get into home ownership, that want to have their own space, and these are those entry-level houses, entry-level neighborhoods. We're going to continue to see that as access to funds, which, like the interest rates, as they come down, access to funds becomes easier. More people are going to have more money to get into these single-family houses in these entry-level neighborhoods. So we're going to continue to see prices increase in those neighborhoods. So to recap, sales numbers are still really strong. Inventory continues to be a challenge, and housing prices are continuing to increase here in Saskatoon. And I think, as I mentioned in previous months, we're going to continue to see that moving forward. As well as with the Bank of Canada making their rate announcements next week, I think the rates are going to continue to fall, and it's just going to bring more buyers into the market, and it's going to continue to push those house prices higher. If If you have any other questions, want to know any more information, feel free to give me a shout anytime. Thanks.